On that note, I will call this meeting to order at 9 o'clock. In the true spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge all those who call this land home now and for thousands of years past. May we respect each other and find understanding together and recognize the benefits that this land provides to all of us. I would look to council to see if, as we commence the organization meeting, if you would like to vote by secret ballot. Yes. If so, could I get somebody that moves? Lauren? Second? Any other discussion? Those in favor? That is carried. Can I also ask that we get a motion, as we'll be using ballots, that the ballots are destroyed at the end of the meeting? Morris?
Boy, you're quick.
Well,
Se-
the thing is, it's gonna be hard to beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you did.
Would you like to second it, Councillor Vanderveen? Yeah, perfect, thank you. Any other discussion? Those in favor? Perfect. Last, I would recommend that council appoints Devin Teely, the Director of Development and Infrastructure, as scrutineer. Mark? Second? John? Those in favor? Carried. Okay, well,
You didn't look bad.
it's majority vote. Candace will hand out ballots for nomination. Councillor Campbell, for the nomination of Reeve, do you accept?
I do.
Councillor Hickey?
No.
No. If there's no other nominees, then Councillor Campbell would be appointed Reeve through acclamation. So we would, I would require a motion for that. So would somebody therefore move that Councillor Campbell be appointed as Reeve for Lethbridge County for the 24-25 year?
I'll move that that Councillor Campbell be nominated, be elected as Reeve.
Okay. Second? Councillor Kerbis. Call the question. Any other discussion? Those in favor? It's carried. Just have to do your oath and then.
Candace is going to hand us out some ballots for nomination for Deputy Reeve. Thanks, Candace.
You doing some exercise there, Morris?
Pardon me?
You doing some exercise there?
I'll tell you, when you're in a big field, you do a lot of exercise.
Person with the most votes for Deputy Reeve is John Curtis.
Congratulations, John. Could I have a motion to appoint Councillor John Curbis as the Deputy Reeve? Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. Lauren is moved to appoint Councillor John Curbis as Deputy Reeve for the term. Any further discussion? I'll call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. John, if you want to do your oath.
Cured up in a haircut today.
I, John Curtis, do swear I will diligently, faithfully, to the best of my ability, execute according to law
You want picture, Kelsey? Yeah, yeah. Who would you like? Yep. Want to do a picture, John? Okay, if we move down then, item E, appointment of internal committees. The list of internal and external committees for 2024-25 will be reviewed. Council has determined, at least verbally to this point, they'll remain on the same committees last year. However, if there's any discussion, now is the chance to make any changes or amendments to that list. Is there any discussion on the internal and external committees? I believe we were just going to shift everything over from Councillor Van Essen over to Councillor Slump. Is that correct? For discussion? Okay, thanks, Candace. So.
That's external?
So we have Coldwell Chamber of Commerce, Highway 320 Association, City of Lethbridge Intermunicipal Committee, Water Co-op Liaison Committee, Link Pathway. I believe that is all for the external committees. And there was none for the internal, correct, Candace? Okay. So I would open up to the floor for any discussion on these items. Mark, go ahead.
Highway 20, I've been asked by Bill Chapman, but we've got Kevin on that, so we're fine with that. The Chamber of Commerce, I haven't been able to attend any of the meetings, and it's, I know at some point we have a discussion about that.
Okay. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Councillor Sayers, could you comment on whether or not you see value in the attendance of that, or in the meetings that you have? Is there information that you gather there that would be helpful for council, or is it more of a feel-good appointment?
Yeah, I think that it's based on some of the business in Coalville, but it's just, it's a dinner meeting, and have to get a speaker, and the mayor does a report on how this, on the town of Coalville. I appreciate, having a record, we have a base there, that's fine, but I don't see value. I mean, we have a relationship with the town of Coalville, and we work with them, we're seniors, I think that's more attractive than to just sit on the chamber. So, and I'm not sure, I guess, because it must be after Councilor Van Essen, but I know we had that conversation too. And because those are the two that sit on the same.
Contributes. Yeah. What are your thoughts? Do we see value in having someone sit on the Chamber of Commerce for the town of Coalville?
So,
Go ahead, Morris.
what about the fixed view thing?
I think we just didn't talk about that because it just slid right back, or went from Eric to Kevin, but we could talk about that as well, Morris. If I know you've been on there for a long time, what are your thoughts on having the county and
I was there, on behalf of the county, I was pretty well, right, from the start, representing, would be a representative from the county chamber, and I've been a chamber member for 40-some years. I really would like to be there again, if I can, however, still go to the chamber meetings. Thank you.
Okay. Quick class.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I would like to move that Councillor Zeenstra be our appointee to the Picture Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, so Claus has then moved to appoint Morris to sit on the Pitcher Butte Chamber of Commerce. Is there any discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Those opposed? That's carried. So then, I guess with that, maybe then, for the time being, do we continue with an appointee to the Coaldale Chamber of Commerce as well then? Or do we, how do we feel? Go ahead, Cole.
Turn their mics on. I was
Oh.
just having a hard time hearing online.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I struggle with this because I think this is something that, the optics may be such that we should have a representative on it, but if there is no value in having a seat on the representative, I would support just not having somebody as our representative on the Coaldale Chamber of Commerce.
Klaus?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I kind of think the other way around. I think that, Coaldale being like a big part of the county and everything, I think it's, even though the value isn't that great, I think it would still benefit us to have somebody on the Chamber of Commerce of Coaldale.
Mark?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm fine staying on the chamber. The one thing we need to look into is whether we are allowed to have more than one representative at a Chamber of Commerce within our municipality. So that was another issue that's come up. So we probably need to do some research there, but I'm fine with, I'll stay on that because I don't see anybody else jumping out of their chairs to fill the position, so.
Okay, well, if you're,
You didn't give him a chance.
Okay, well, if anybody else would like to, if anybody else wants to volunteer, that would be fine.
yeah. Okay, well, if you're content with that, Mark, why don't we just stay the course then for now? On the second one, the Highway 3 Twinning Association, I know that we just received their annual funding request. So on that one, perhaps, maybe Cole, do you think can we have that discussion? I think we're having that discussion at the next meeting, Candace, potentially, or is that? Around the Highway 3 Twinning's funding request. So should we still just continue on with having Kevin appointed there and leave that for now and then potentially have that discussion at that time?
That would be my recommendation if we're gonna discuss joining that or the funding at a future meeting, that let's do the appointment here and then we can amend based on that
Okay.
decision point.
Go ahead, John.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm currently the alternate on that, and I would happily stand aside on that if Councillor Sayers was interested in taking that position.
Good, Mark.
Thank you, no. The other piece here is about the intermunicipal committee for the city of Lethbridge. I only sit on one right now. The other I know Councillor Kurbis is on 3, so I would be happy to do that one, which makes sense.
Yeah, I would be supportive of that. What are your feelings, John? If you were to step away from the Lethbridge IDP and allow Mark to sit on that one?
Oh, yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Any other thoughts on that one? Like you said, I think that kind of brings us into balance too, where I believe I'm on 2, and then I think the balance is a little more even.
Yeah, brings up to-
Are we okay with that one? Would someone be willing to make that motion to appoint Mark to the intermunicipal? Oh, sorry, Candace. Oh, sorry. Absolutely. Okay, Water Co-op Liaison Committee.
So I have asked to be removed from this one because I think we had discussed amongst the 3 of us here, and I think we informed Cole of that too, that we thought that having 2 people on there from council would be sufficient, because we usually have a staff there and the CEO is usually there, so you're with 4 men, 4 people there already, and I find it a little overwhelming that we come with such an amount of people down there, so then I would like my name removed from that one.
Okay, you agreeable with that? Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And this one is more ad hoc, as needed, so the frequency would be 1 to maybe 2 times a year. It's not overly onerous.
Go ahead, Lauren.
Can we make it perhaps do as an alternate?
Absolutely. Would,
That would be possible.
Yeah.
would you be willing to sit as the alternate?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Lauren. Link Pathway Committee.
That was also mine. I'm asked to be removed from that one. I do find that we have one really good representative on there from council here, and I don't see the use of actually having 2 people on there, so I thought that I wouldn't mind removing my name from that one there,
Who is that there?
yeah. That's Councillor Zeenstra.
He rode his bike in this morning.
Yeah, that's a couple minutes late, eh?
That's why you was stretching.
Okay, what are your thoughts on having the one appointee to the Link Pathway Committee? John?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Would it make sense to have that in a similar light as water liaison and have an alternate?
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay,
Yeah.
and would you be willing to let your name stand as alternate? Okay. Does that satisfy all those, Candace? So now you'd like a motion to accept those?
Get one for the internal committee, as amended, and then one for the external.
Okay,
The list to be accepted.
okay, thank you. So first off, if we could get a motion to accept the 2024-2025 appointment of internal committees list as amended? John?
I'll happily make that motion to accept the internal committees as amended. Okay.
Any discussion on that one? Not, we'll call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Moving down to the 2024-2025 appointment of external committees list. Would we be able to have a motion to accept those as amended? Lauren?
I would move the results for the external committee for 24-25 be accepted as amended.
Thank you, Lauren. Is there any discussion? I'll call the question. Those in favor? Those opposed? That's carried. Is that good then, Candace? Okay. What else do you need, Candace? Are we right down to I then? Okay. Axe Appeal Committee, Soil Conservation, Weed and Pest Control Appeal Committee. What do we need?
Current members who are sitting on there, Brian Harbers, Rob Van Diemen, and Steve Campbell, all of which have agreed to remain as members at large for the Soil Conservation, Weed and Pest Control Appeal Committee. There's 2 committees, there's Soil Conservation Committee and then Weed and Pest Control Appeal Committee.
Okay.
So this is a motion to appoint all those members at large, effective January 1st, 2025.
Okay. Any discussion on that?
Can you repeat those names?
Who are the names, Candace?
Brian Harbers, Rob Van Diemen, and Steve Campbell.
Okay, if there's no discussion, would someone be willing to make that motion? John? John has moved to accept the members at large for the Axe Appeal Committee, Soil Conservation, and Weed and Pest Control Appeal Committee. Is there any discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. And Candace?
The next one is the Subdivision and Development Appeal Board. We currently have 2 members sitting on there, Dave Jensen and Edward Van Essen, who have agreed to their term is up in next year, so they'll remain. Have them, council will call on this, we're actually will appoint the 3rd member, but we will just get a motion to appoint members of our task staff as is, Jensen and Edward Van Essen, TS, their vacancies.
Okay. Any discussion on that one? Mark?
Move to accept the subdivision and appeal board appointments.
Thank you, Mark. Mark has moved to appoint the Subdivision and Development Appeal Board appointments. Is there any discussion? I will call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Is there anything else for the organizational meeting, Candace? Okay. With that, call for adjournment. We will adjourn the organizational meeting at 9:27 a.m. this morning, moved by Morris. Any discussion? I'll call the question. Those in favor?